a little YouTube channel, which anybody being here today, and thank you so much, Michael, for agreeing to share your expertise with us regarding enhancing documents using Canva and Adobe. So without further ado, Dr. Baugh, please.
I hope you're saying, you feel that way afterward, but yeah, and I'm sorry about your Zoom issues. I know I was at the first or second meeting, Neil, that my Zoom couldn't access, even though we did the day before. So for some reason I had to restart my computer. Yeah, welcome to our dialogue. And I hope you get something out of it, but I'm pretty sure most of you know most of this stuff anyway. So everyone can hear me fine, right?
Yeah.
I can hear you twice.
Huh?
Oh yeah,
you can hear me twice. So, what was I gonna say? Let's move here. I'm gonna share my screen. I think I have share capabilities, right? All right. I just didn't have time. I meant to get you guys a fillable PDF form, but they didn't have. Let me share my screen here. All right. Everyone see my screen?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Can you still see it?
Yeah.
With the Word doc?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. So basically, these are the things that I'm intending to cover, and this is a question that I have. How do I create some more engaging content for my students using Canva? And how many of you use Canva continuously or sometimes or somewhat?
I've used it.
I've never used it.
You never used it? Okay. It kind of reminds me of an old thing called Issue. And I keep saying Issue. It's Issue. And an old software where you kind of create, but that one was more so magazine and newsletter, and it didn't have all the functions I believe this does. So let's get started here. So this is the first question: how do I create more engaging content for my students using Canva? And we're going to choose a template and add video. And this is really for nuance and subtleties and assignments, and I'll show you what I mean by that. See if I can bring this up. Let me know if at any point that my thing doesn't work. Can you guys see it still?
Yeah.
Awesome. And this is someone that you know. Increase the size here. So let's just say, for example, and Heather's really good at breaking up, videos for students, and we go 5-minute increments and things of the nature, and she's really reminded me to do so. She hasn't told me to do it, but like her doing it reminds me that I need to do that. So let's just say, for instance, that we're talking about social justice with our students. And I'll go back and I'll open the templates and stuff but let's just say for right now, we're talking about social justice. And so this is our topic for the day. I've created the Social Justice Quarterly, or whatever this may be, right? The Social Justice Journal. And they see me, obviously, and this thing is priceless, as you can see. So you like that little insert there, usually it's like $3.50 or $3.99, but I thought it was genius. We're gonna talk about racism trends in 2020. We're gonna talk about appropriate style for kids and youngsters, appropriation style for kids and youngsters. We're gonna talk about reasons not to claim warrior status. I had it as something else, and then I left it vague because it was too much. Anyway, and so we're gonna have exclusive interviews with Baugh, in which this, I'm gonna feel. Let's say I've already fielded questions from the students, and so it's not truly interactive, but I've gotten their input, and so I'm responding to their questions. So this is a video I recently sent Heather. And so I just wanted to insert this in here. And so let's say for our students, since I'm breaking the lecture up into maybe 4 or 5 different short videos, my page too, because this is a learning experience. I'm not just lecturing you. And so I want that to immerse them in the experience, the buy-in experience, let's just say. And so this one, I've added a video here. And so now we can get into, so I've you know who I am. And so down here is where I can erase these and then put my points. the stuff that the takeaways, that I've covered in the video. And then I can go into another video. Each page has a video of me expounding upon the concept that I'm trying to get students to understand. And so this is that was just a stock video, and a stock photo, and then another stock photo. But this is how I initially get students engaged. And this isn't for every lecture, every assignment, but I may choose to do this 2 or 3 times throughout the semester. Especially in the very beginning, to get them engaged, like, hey, this isn't your normal online experience. This is a more immersive, engaging journey that we're going to go through. And you keep flipping through the pages, not only here, but throughout the semester. I'm hoping to keep them flipping through the pages of content. And so I hope, does this make sense thus far? That's what I start, but I usually start with, hey, let me go back to my, I like nice magazine covers, but I go back to and this is what I was just playing around with this a while ago. I think Amy's seen a few of these. But this is how I did my service learning assignment for my students. And I would, of course, share this, get the link and then put this in Blackboard. And so that's how I just put it in Blackboard. I just, share my link. But this is how I did it. I put a picture of me actually, digging something. That's just what I was doing. And I put the actual assignment here. So this is what I did for my service learning. And I'm gonna go home for a little bit, all of my designs. And this is what I did for, now I'm gonna go through opening a document and inserting video. I'm gonna do that. But this is what I did for the Humans of the World, our Humans of New York assignment. Let me increase, and this is where that initial video was. And this is where I put the details of it. And so I use the video not only so they can see me as if they're really seeing me, but just so I can get to those subtleties and nuances that I wouldn't normally write down in the video. In the actual assignment. So. Or little exceptions that I wouldn't normally write down. So this is where I just use it to engage with students. But so let's go to the start one. Am I going too fast? No? Am I talking too fast?
You're doing great.
Because I do.
Good.
So I gotta move this. I want to create a design, and so this would be the home thing. And let's just say I want to do a newsletter, and newsletters have to be my favorite. Let's just do this one.
So Michael, I don't know if you
Yes.
saw the chat,
Oh,
but
I'm
Amy
sorry.
asked if we have to sign up for an account.
Oh, yes, sorry. You have to sign up for an account, it's free. You pay only when you want like additional features, but the features that it gives are fine for me. I'm sorry, I missed the chat. Thanks for that.
No, you're fine. I'll call it out if I see it. And Shelly asked if it was on Blackboard or elsewhere.
Oh, if what was on Blackboard?
She's asking if Canva is a tool from Blackboard, I think, and it's a website.
Yeah, it's a website. It's a separate website. So, all right, here we go. So I've created this, and it doesn't have any video or anything like that. So what I want to do is I want to, you see where I'm hovering over here? I want to add a video. And I can add one of the stock videos, maybe that fits what I'm doing, but it doesn't, so I'm gonna upload something. And so you see I've gone upload, and I wanna upload an image or video that I've already recorded. And let's say I wanna use this one. It's only a few seconds. This was recorded by the great Neil Nance Carroll, you may know him. But let's say I wanna use this right here. And so I'm throwing this on top. All I've done is just drag it up. I'm throwing this on top. Welcome to UNIV, blah, blah, blah. So this is a video I may want to use in one of the introductory classes. This is a page I may want to use in my introductory classes. So does that make sense thus far?
What format is the video, or does it matter?
Usually I do mine in MOV. It seems fine. When I get later into Adobe, it's very particular. But I believe regular phone, what does Android record in? I don't have an Android. But usually I do mine on iMovie, and not iMovie, but iPhone, and it's just fine. It just uploads fine. And I think those are MOV, QuickTime-ish videos, if I'm correct. So, and I maybe want to add a new page, and that could be the second page in my intro for my the first 2 weeks of my class. So all I've done is, it didn't have a video before. I've uploaded a video that I've recorded on my phone. I've already sent it to myself, sent it to my computer, and I've dragged it over. And now I can write my little content here, whatever I want to say. Make sense? Awesome. I say it makes sense a lot. And if you want to change the look and feel, sometimes I'll add things like this, just to add just extra style. And I want to maybe bring this forward or push it backward. And that's if I just don't want a cookie cutter template. And if I want to change the background, I could do so. And there's plenty of backgrounds. I don't feel the need to, like I said, pay for the pro version or premium version, because I feel like this is just fine for what I'm doing. I'm not in some marketing, so this is just fine for what I'm doing, and you can add extra text, extra videos, and the style of what you're doing. So, of course, extra photos. So I think it's good for, like I said, I've only used it maybe 2 or 3 times during the semester. I don't want to overdo it. Maybe I just want to use this for my main projects. Maybe I want to use this for my intro for students, where I give a video of myself and I give a little documentary, so they're actually reading something about me in a magazine style. So it's however you want to use it. I'm sure you already have an idea of how you may want to use it if you want to use this program. So let me go back to the.
And so, Michael, we just had another question that I'll read out to you. Shelley asked if these products, she said, so these products are then uploaded into Blackboard or emailed, or how do you get that to the student?
I get it to the student by, I take the share link. You could just email it to them, but I take the share link and then I copy the link and then I add the link into Blackboard.
And we could potentially do maybe even a QR code, right, with the link, I would assume?
Oh, I've never tried that. The QR code. I've tried QR codes, obviously, but not with the link. So that's an interesting question. I'll get back. I'll send her an email. I'll try it. Oh, wait, we can both try it. I've never done a QR code with this link, but I'm sure you can. So.
Michael, I have a quick question. Can you download what you've created and the whole thing without a link? So I want to download what I just created and then embed it. So when people embed it in my Blackboard shell, say for week 1, can I do that? So the minute they open Blackboard, they can see that document, they have to go through a link.
Yeah, the MP4, it allows you to download.
Okay, and then it can just be visible. You can see it and embed it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And is there a process? Can you show me on the like on the main page where you just were, where you go? Is there like a little arrow that says download?
Do the end. Right here?
Does that make sense?
Right here?
We can't see your screen. And
oh, okay. Sorry.
I can't see your screen, buddy. No, that's okay.
Everyone can see it again?
Yeah.
And what I just did was I just downloaded this right here as an MP4.
Where is the button? Is it on the right side?
The right side.
Hold on. Okay, I had to move something. Okay, hit the deck. Perfect, perfect. Thank
And
you.
it downloads an MP4. Should be good to go. Downloads right here.
But now it has to be
Obviously, I didn't delete this. That wouldn't normally be there. I just downloaded it as it was, and so I have.
Hello?
So
if you download it as an image, will the interactive things work with it?
yes, it should. They should. I've seen them work, but
Okay,
sometimes when I send them
thank
to
you.
people, it gets
Sorry, I
weird.
just want to make sure I know that.
Well, and Michael, there was another question from Liz that is it true that they look weird unless you print them on legal paper? I'm assuming she means the newsletters.
Yeah, you have to print it on the side. It'll look weird. If you like, you said she's trying to print it on something else.
She just asked if they did look distorted if they're printed unless they're printed on legal sized paper.
I'd print it on the size paper that you downloaded.
Okay.
There's a resize function up on the top left menu. So you
Oh,
can
shoot.
take something like
But-
if the template comes in a certain size, you can change it.
But that's too tough. If you wanna do this.
Mm-hmm.
But let me see here.
Well, and I'll just say while you're looking for that, Michael, that Michael shared with me a Canva sheet, and it actually looks really cool when you just shared the link. So you don't even have to print it, and you can just like click the videos and make it work. So it was also really cool that way, and I had never seen it done that way before. So I really liked that.
Here, where was I? Stop share for a second. Looking for something. And this is, let me share it again. This is what I recently sent Heather, where it's just a page of me having 3 different dialogues around a topic. So feel free to not be elaborate, just have one page and 3 separate videos of you. So, and where's my online converter? This is the one that I trust. This is the one that I use for my phone because iPhone's weird. And if I'm trying to transfer, well, I just mainly use it for ringtones as a side note. If I, because iPhone wants, everyone has an iPhone, right? Not everyone. Some of you have an iPhone. And if I want to change a song, I'll use this to put it in a format that iPhone will recognize. And if you also want to convert other files, this is the website that I want to use. If you're using MP4 and it's something that you're doing doesn't allow MP4, this is the website I'll use. Just a side note.
Good to know.
So let me move over to how do I transform articles, documents into more engaging experiences for my students. And I wanted to use Adobe Pro. Let me open this up here. Sorry guys, while I'm doing this, I'm so bad at looking at the chat. Where's Adobe Pro? All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is what, it gets tricky with videos here because they don't, as I just tried with Heather again, and they don't send well. Minimize this. But let's just say we're doing something about the American Dream and city of Flint. The fleeting American Dream in the city of Flint. And a lot of us will have our students read articles, peer-reviewed articles, and I still want to continue that conversation with them, even though they're just reading an article. So what I'll do is I did this personally in my master's program and my doctoral program, in which I add a lot of comments so that when I go back so that when I go back, I can really, I leave myself breadcrumbs pretty much, so that when I go back, I understand what I read. I can review what I've read already. So let's just say I want my students to read this article, and I want them to stop at moments because I want to model a certain framework. I want to model a certain behavior, a certain thinking style, a certain approach. And so I'll model this in the very beginning, because this is a way that I want you to start thinking generally. So as they're reading, I want them to read, with and against the grain and all that stuff. But as they're reading, I'll stop here. I'll say, for white middle-class Americans, Flint was the place to be. People living in the city were confident in the promises of the future. And so I may want to go in, and I don't want to go too fast here. I've already opened it, actually. I'll close it. I may want to go in and say, hey, let's look at comments here. So
I only see the like Finder page. Does anyone else? Are you showing us a document?
Yeah, let me see.
Like a folder that says Flint 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I see.
All right,
And
let me see
sequence
why it's
2.
not.
Or
You might
sequence-
have just shared the raw, like the Finder thing. I just want to make sure I'm following along with what you're doing.
There, is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I'm
Sorry,
so
I was
bad.
trying to follow along.
I need
see.
a thing on Zoom. I need a tutorial on Zoom. I don't have this much trouble with Neil during our class. I really don't. But everyone can see this now. So what I do is, let me close. Let me just close this. Stop sharing. I'll go to tools. If I need to add something, I'll add rich media. I'll add comments if it's not there, because you can just drag it over. But it's already there, and so I wanna use comments for this. And so what I'll go in and do is, if I want my students to start reading something, it'll say, for white middle-class Americans, Flint was a place to be. People living in the city were confident in the promises of the future. And I'm like, hold on, let's stop there. And so what I'll do is, I'll do a text call out, and I want them to stop here, and I'll say, hold on, friends. Let's think about this. And so I'm gonna say, hold on, friends, let's think about this. And then I might add extra dialogue, some really pertinent questions to ask that they should be asking if I want them to read with, against the grain. If I want to check their, levels of inference. I'm gonna do so I won't overdo it, but I might have in this document 10 call outs that I want them to stop and consider. Because how many of you have students that you tell them, and this has happened, I'm sure all of you tell them to read something, they read it, and you ask them, hey, what'd you get from it? They say, I don't know, I read it. And I want them thinking and questioning, joining the conversation while they read. And so this helps me do that. So I want them to stop at moments and consider what is being asked of them, what is being told to them, and I want them to analyze that. And then I'll move on. I'll have another call out with a link to a PBS special in which they talk about what happened in April 2014. And so instead of me just throwing in a bunch of lectures here, I'm throwing in some external materials that they can use to undergird, really support what the article is talking about. So some of those real life examples I insert here. It gets tricky because, let's see, where is it? I do like to put a bunch of clouds everywhere, as you can see right here. And that usually, I give my students a legend. And so that, that tells them that, hey, this is an idea. This is another idea you may want to think about. This is a good idea that maybe I didn't think about. So I'll use that, the cloud function. I'll create a cloud. And this is how you create a cloud, just real fast. Ends up looking like poop sometimes, but. So this is these are two, to pay attention to this right here, other than me just highlighting it. But the tricky part comes in, and I would only use this tricky part if I'm using my computer, and I'm doing it with people that have the most up-to-date Adobe Acrobat, because as I tried with Heather again, this doesn't send well when you add the rich media content. We haven't added rich media content yet for you. Let me show you right here. And so I've clicked on the right hand where it says rich media. And I want to add a video. And I want to click where that video is going to be. Inserting URL, it's funky most of the time, and I don't recommend it. Usually I'll have a video that I've already downloaded. Side note, Mozilla Firefox has a function in which you can download YouTube to MP4 to your computer. I'm not saying it's legal or illegal. I'm just saying that they do have, I'm aware that they do have a function. I'm not saying that I use it or that I don't use it, but it's there. And so a video that we've already used. And so this is where I can activate the video that I inserted. It, like I said, it doesn't send correctly, so I'd only use it, this part, for if I'm doing a presentation or if I'm using my computer. You can insert rich media into your thing. You can insert, if once again, if you're doing a presentation or like you're using your computer. I've inserted right here. Yeah. And how many of you listened to the NPR code switch or heard of NPR code switch? They have a lot of good content on there. And so once again, if I want, I usually trust PBS material, usually. If I want to, insert a real world experience and have them watch a video on that, like I said, it doesn't send well, but this is something you can add to your document. The other stuff, the comments, that sends perfectly. So I encourage you, if you want your students to start critically thinking, using the callouts, using the other functions in comments here, and I think you'll be good. Any questions? Did I miss anything?
Me, Michael.
Yes.
Is that, do you pay for Adobe Pro? Pay for Pro?
You broke up. I'm sorry.
Do we have to pay for Adobe Pro? Is
Adobe
it
Pro,
free?
like I said, for the rich content, usually it works with the Adobe Pro for, like we have, like we all have access to the Creative Cloud because we work here. And so it's tough for students to be able to read some of this material if they don't have the most up-to-date version or most advanced version. And so that's why I said to stick with the content that sends well. Adobe Reader can read all of that. Does that make sense?
No, well, my question is, you're showing us how to do something. I thought it was through Adobe Pro. Is that wrong?
Yeah, Adobe
Today,
Pro.
were you using Adobe Pro?
Yeah.
Okay, but so does it look like what we would see if we don't have Adobe Pro?
If you don't have Adobe Reader, will still read those comments and things of that nature. It gets tricky when we get to the rich content. And so.
But how do I create something?
Oh yeah, you can still create something in the regular. I'm not sure if it has the rich media content option in the regular version, but you can still do comments in the regular version. Still add shapes in the regular version. Did that answer? I'm sorry, did I not answer?
No, that's okay.
If you don't have Adobe Pro, you can if you don't have Adobe Pro, you can still do some of these same options. Like I said, I don't think it gets tough with the rich media content, but you can still add those comments tool, all the options under tools comments. You can still do those in the regular. So.
Can you show me how you upload a document to Adobe? So does it have to be in PDF format, or can it be a Word doc and then it changes it for you?
Well, you can You mean upload it to the cloud or just open a document in Adobe?
Okay. What you were showing us how to, okay, you showed us an article. It
Yes.
was already a PDF format, and so
Yes.
you were able to do some things interactively on it.
Yes.
Okay, so the document has to be in PDF,
Yes.
correct?
Yes. You can change it from, you know, if it's already
Okay.
a Word
And
document,
then,
and you can save it as a PDF. But correct me if I'm wrong, Paul. The option to do so is for Pro, is it not? But I think the option
you should be able
to
to save it
You
as
should
a
be able to save
PDF
it still?
regardless of
Regardless?
the free
Okay.
or pro.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay,
But you can switch it over from your. You can save an image an image that you have as a PDF. So, I hope I answered your question. Was I gonna add something here? And let me close this. And this last one is just for us. It's not really for, we're not gonna teach our students to do this, but let me see. No. This last one is a trial version. I haven't got the other version yet, the real version, but this is a trial. Let me see if I can open it here.
So that was an interesting point, though, that you made, Michael, that, you know, if this one's kind of just for us, we could also be incorporating Canva for our students and showing them how to make some of these more professional documents. Could even be for service learning if we make like a newsletter. So that's also not just a tool for us, but a tool for them as well, which would have saved me hours of trying to move things around in Microsoft Word as a student. So that's a good thing to take away.
Let me see why will this show up? Let's see if it'll show up. I don't think this is showing.
Adobe Premiere Rush.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, we can see your
Okay,
screen.
good. So this is Adobe Premiere Rush. Has anyone heard of it before?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a dumbed down iMovie or similar. It's not as good as iMovie, but it's a dumbed down iMovie. And so this is just for us. And you know, to do the full version, it's like having a Netflix account. What was Netflix? What, $15 now a month? But this is 20. So to do the full version and not the trial version, you need you need to pay $20 a month. So if you're like me, get rid of Netflix and then do this. So this is just for us. And so since this is a sort of this is an iMovie-esque. I've never used the option where I'm uploading to YouTube, but I mean that's an option. I don't have my channel like Amy does. So let's say I'm doing an intro video for my students, or I'm doing an exit video for my students. I can put together, and I've used, this is service learning video again, but I basically added media here. You can, of course, you can add voiceover, but I've added media. And once I add media, it shows up down here just like iMovie. And now once I have my video in order, once I have my video together, then I go ahead and try to share that video. Maybe I think the easiest way would probably be YouTube than sending, because you know it's hard to send a huge document. And so this is what I would do. Let me get here. So I want to create a new project, and I want to call this PD3, let's just say, and I want to save that. And let's see, do I have any videos in here? Any videos in OneDrive? I do. Let's see which one I'll use. That's Neil. See you guys. I'm just gonna put you guys in here. And I've dragged pretty much video or images from my computer, and I'm creating video here. Let's see here. And so you may recognize these people. Sorry, I didn't ask you. I just pulled from it. And so I don't know why that one showed up weird. But I have this video in here, and now I desire to share. Now I can save to my computer and then open OneDrive, maybe upload to OneDrive because it's so large. But no, it's not. This one's not that big, but usually videos are really large. And then I can go into YouTube. Like I said, I don't have a channel, but I think that would be the easiest way to do so. So that could be your introductory video if you want to add a little razzle dazzle to your video, not just a regular cell phone video, which you could do, or a regular computer video, which you could do. This is a way to do so. So did I miss any questions at all? All right. So we did not go the full hour, but I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to. Apologize for being so short, but I covered everything that I wanted to. And sorry, I misunderstood your question. And you broke up sometimes, but sorry that I misunderstood your question. So
You didn't. It was great.
So did you at least get something that you didn't think about before? I hope you did. And hopefully you can use one of these. I personally, I more so encourage using Canva. It's a lot easier. It's a lot more transferable than Adobe, because Adobe sometimes, unless you're doing comments, things won't show up the way they should. But like I said, I have used it, Adobe, a lot when I'm having my students read peer-reviewed articles and when I want them to think critically the way that, a lot of times we say, we want you to think this way, we want you to think this way. I go ahead and I model it. This is how I read it. This is what you're seeing when I read it. And I'd like to see this in the next couple of weeks, or we're going to have a problem. But I won't say we're going to have a problem, but you know what I mean? We're going to have a problem, like I'm threatening them. No. So this is what I do, and hopefully you can use that to your advantage.
Thank you, Michael. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, well, thank you so much again, Dr. Baugh, for this presentation. I learned a lot, and I'm going to take a look at all this. And hopefully you could send me the link to this, and I'll upload it to places, for people to look back on. Sound good?
Thank you, Michael.
Always.